Wait, is this the same headline?
No, it's a different headline. Liberal goes public and Subway doesn't sell bread.
What is happening in the world?
Sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
more alarming, some media outlets publish things simply aren't true without checking facts first.
And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Hey everyone, Dave here, December 1773. With me as always is Ryan, and this is The Weekly Show. Bottom right of the screen, as always, click to subscribe and become part of December Nation. Today's show is going to be pretty big. Obviously, there's tons of breaking news everywhere. There's the news of just the debate, and then there's the news of Donald Trump and First Lady contracting COVID. And of course, we're going to have our headline segment and all types of stuff to get to. So obviously, we want to rush into it. Get yourselves ready because this is Ryan and I'm handing it off to him so he can take over here. It's your show, buddy.
So the debates, my friend. I have a serious question.
Perfect.
How many times have you heard Donald Trump denounce white supremacy?
Over the last 4 years?
Yes.
Probably more than I can count.
All right. So tell me why during a debate when Christopher Wallace and Trump and Biden are having their beautifully exchanged talks, that they somehow bring up white supremacy. He references, bring up any group, I'll disavow him. And then he changes track. You've seen him do it in the video.
Mm-hmm.
He says whatever to Biden at that point. And then, without any proof or any backing or any clips to show, all of the media, people on my friends list in the social timelines are sharing images and posting pictures and memes of Trump not denouncing white supremacy and being a KKK member and all of this racist rhetoric that we've seen for however long in the Trump administration. And tell me it's not political. Like, that's honestly, out of anything in the debate, I've seen that covered more than anything else. Nothing about substance, not that Trump was digging into Biden about his tax plan and what it would do, and how Trump said, all the things we talk about here on this program, things that he can beat his chest with, the jobs numbers. Handling COVID, I think, is like a separate issue in itself. I think that's more important. I don't want to say it's not the president's responsibility, but to have it a topic is so ridiculous, I think. Like, this is a virus that you can't contain. We don't know anything about it, but we know things about it. It's weird on people, whatever it would be, but you make a huge political statement on it, and then it's supposed to be this huge segment. And they just get into it. They go back and forth. They have all these exchanges, all the interruptions. People are saying Trump sounds like a child because of them. It doesn't make sense. The format doesn't work. How can you answer any question in 2 minutes and have substance about it? And not expect interruptions that they seem.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. There's a lot covered there, so we'll go through it here.
I'm sorry, I did dig into it.
There was a lot of stuff there. I was expecting a general white supremacy question, and we ended up curing diseases and how to fix debates. So we'll address all these things.
But the white supremacy thing, yes. That's all you see from this debate. That's the only thing highlighted.
Yeah, so the white supremacy thing, I got a little confused, and this is how I broke it down earlier, because I was talking to somebody online about this. What we're supposed to do right now is talk about a man being a white supremacist who, before he ran for president, no one had any issues with him thinking he was racist, thinking he was anything other than just, Donald Trump is a lot of things, but I haven't seen incidents of him being racist. So he he runs for president as a Republican. Well, as soon as you announce yourself as a Republican, that's not only you're the R word Republican, you're the R word racist. That's just how it works in their playbooks.
Worked with Romney, and there was photographs
Yeah.
of Romney during the civil rights movement walking with black people for their freedoms.
Yeah.
And they call him a racist during his presidential debate.
And he's not even, he's a fairly moderate person. You know what I mean? Like when his politics, he's fairly moderate. He still got attacked. So don't think it's just a Trump thing. You know, as soon as you run as a Republican, you're going to get attacked by the opposite party. But Donald Trump is a person who wasn't racist, wasn't thought of as being racist. He started to run for president. Then people started to call him racist because he was running as a Republican. He denounced all types of groups many, 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 many times, over and over and over again. Different speeches, different phone calls, through different even legislation and things. He's denounced some of these to an extent. And then during a debate, he's asked to denounce white supremacy. He says, sure. And the sure wasn't strong enough. That wasn't a good enough answer. I mean, is that what we've come to now? He didn't answer it correctly at the debate, so we're going to throw everything out prior in his whole entire life. We're just going to throw that out because he said sure. I don't know. That sounds like a weak case.
Yeah, I don't know why this is, you know, I mean, I know why it's the political banter and stuff, but like to just rinse repeat this racism thing, and like you said yourself, it happens to the Republicans, so it's expected. And that's why I think, you know, not saying that it's insensitive by nature, but that's why it's like, sure, I'll denounce racism, because it's like he's probably not racist.
Yeah, he's almost caught off guard by nature. Like,
yeah,
why are you even asking me? Sure, yeah, whatever. What are you talking about?
We're at a debate talking about the economy or whatever the interruption was or whatever it was doing, and yeah, it's ridiculous. But it's taken over the media cycle, and it was. It's sad because I think there's a lot of good campaign ads that both probably I think Trump can get a lot out of that in campaign ads. You know, like
he's got a gold mine.
We're going to shut you down. You're not smart. The Hunter Biden stuff, like
shut up,
he
man.
lays into him. Shut up, man.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen, who is
Like, yeah, that's all they got probably.
That was like a few minutes into the debate. Like if he's that flustered, so the other thing.
Just went,
One of the other things you were talking about was the debate format. Me and Eve were staying up and watching it, and like she asked, you know, how come they can't just cut off his mic? And I remember watching debates for I don't know most of my life, and I remember thinking the same thing every time. Like, how we have the technology. If it's such an issue, shut their mic off.
So you agree they should shut their mics?
Sure. I don't know. Here's what I'm saying. Obviously, the moderator, and it's not just Chris Wallace, as much as I don't like him, by the way, called that strong in the last episode. It's not just the moderator, that Chris Wallace, that I don't like him. It's all moderators. None of them can ever get control of these people being politicians. And I don't know what's the answer. You can let them talk all over each other, or you can listen. This is a nice, smooth debate. This is how it's going to run. You get 2 minutes, go. Everyone else's mic, shut off. I'm just saying it'd be easy enough to do. It'd be less entertaining.
Honestly, I think it would be. I think they should just let them ramble. Honestly,
well,
they should just let.
That's what they've chosen to do.
Well, let them cut into it, dude. I mean, the media is not handling any of this smartly. I don't know. They're just cutting their political cloth out of it and then pushing it. But 2 minutes for a question on something is not enough time.
No.
But I don't know if muting Mike is going to change anything. Like, what's it going to do? Allow me to not talk? Okay. Yes. So there's less interruptions, but it's still, you can't cover a crazy topic in 2 minutes.
No, it wouldn't solve that issue at all.
But I understand with the interruptions and stuff. Honestly, I think it's funny. I really think it's funny.
Yeah, I got some laughs out of it, for sure.
Yeah. And like one of my things that I thought was most funny was I saw an article that talked about how many times Trump interrupted. And I just think it's funny because they interrupt Trump, they interrupt each other, they fucking all do it. But they're going to say Trump's rude and a child and all this, but they all print crap. You know, like, there's no credibility, and everybody's acting like they have credibility. Trying to be the bigger
but
person with it.
That's the media. The media is
I
everyone
know.
trying to be the most credible, and none of them are credible. It's the weirdest competition on
They're
earth.
none of them. Yeah, they're not. They're not credible. They're like
No.
references. They're like footnotes in Wikipedia.
Yeah, which can
That's
be
what
changed.
mainstream. Yeah. Well,
It's the perfect analogy because it changes with the wind.
my other question with this debate, the Supreme Court was a huge thing addressed, obviously, because of everything going on, the passing of the justice, the trying to get one elected. Why do we think one person is so powerful?
Because in the political nature of the court, in theory, this one person swings the votes.
Okay.
Because
maybe.
there's going to be
I
a
don't know that.
Republican majority. No, I don't know that. I'm assuming that's the case
You don't
also,
know
though,
that.
to be honest with you.
I don't think they're going to overturn Roe v. Wade or some of these other things.
I
The Obamacare. I had a family member reference the ACA, Obamacare and stuff. I'm like, it's not gonna happen.
don't
And like
think
thinking to get a liberal judge to stop conservatism or whatever it is, it's like, consequences have of consequences and stuff. Trump said that, it's right, but why instead of talk about it at this debate, how about Trump said he has the authority. It's the constitutional power of the president to elect Supreme Court justices. Okay, so bring up the section of the Constitution that says it. You know what I mean?
I don't understand. I don't understand how the Supreme Court was talked about. Like, well, we might be in charge soon, so you don't get a say. Well, that's sorry, Joe, but that's not how that works.
Yeah, it shows their intention, but that's why we're misinformed about like things that we talk about all the time: the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, what it should be, what liberty means, like defining these things in the 21st century, so people realize, like the mask thing, like whatever it is. We don't know like our foundations of government. We don't know how it operates, how it's structured. So it allows the news media and the moderators and all these people to make all this money on ad revenue and advertisements. And they basically are using you because you're stupid about the way your country's ran. And they make millions of dollars off you. And we watch it as it's entertainment. And they're discussing the political future of all of our children.
Yeah.
It's like nobody takes it serious. And then all I see the next day about the debates is that Trump is a white supremacist. I didn't see anything about any of the issues. The Supreme Court thing was another thing about a women's right to choose and all this crap. It's just like, okay.
So conveniently,
this powerful one person thing is got to change, man.
Conveniently for Democrats, the white supremacist thing is the only thing they could talk about. But the way that works so well is because they got nothing good out of Joe. Biden,
not Trump, right?
Joe Biden lied. Man, he lied a lot. Like he was going for a record. I was sitting on the couch like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Every time he opened his mouth, it was incredible.
There's been various tweets, especially about Trump and the xenophobic comments when closing the border and countries and all this xenophobia and stuff. People timestamped them. They're on the internet. Like, I've seen a couple of them. And it just shows the blatant hypocrisy.
Yeah.
And he's just like, shut up, man. He's just sitting there laughing.
Shut up, man.
Will you shut up, man? Listen, who is your...
They have nothing with Biden, and I agree with you because this was my theory that I have. I think the Democrats have lost blue-collar people.
Well,
like,
we're gonna find out in November because
I just think
that's what it's gonna ride on.
Entire life, I've worked blue-collar jobs my entire life, and most of the time they're Republicans.
Sure.
Most of the time. So I just don't know how there's all these blue collar union type people, because I work for a union shop and they're Republican, man.
Yeah. Dude, is the rain there?
It's happening, man.
You're getting rained
on. I'm gonna see how long I can hold out here. But yeah, I think they lost them because they started doing crazy issues. You know, not just progressivism and these other things, but something like gun control, honestly. I think if Democrats were more pro Second Amendment, you would get more like some people are only Republican leaning because of firearms. You know, like if they did stand for things they believed in, like the liberty, and they're the party of democracy and they want freedom for people, and now it seems that they don't. You know, they don't have the same values they did in the 80s and the 90s when they got all these blue collar, union, hard working, stiff people, not the white collar. I think they've lost that base, and I think their base is for the socialism style and minorities. I think that's their target audience, and they're counting on numbers, not ideas to win.
If they're counting on the base being this heavily socialist base, if they were out doing numbers and research and they got some information that socialism is a big enough base to carry a party, they either got bad numbers or we're in trouble.
Well, okay, maybe, but definitely the minority thing. You know, like Biden said himself, if you ain't vote for me, you ain't black. And that's primarily because minorities have voted Democrat for 50 years, we'll say.
Sure.
And it's for whatever reason, the Southern strategy, some people say, or how the Great Switch and all this, for whatever reason, they've had the minority vote like that. And it's basically white conservative men that sway elections sometimes.
Maybe one day we'll get into the Great Switch. The Great Switch, for those who don't know, it's basically a myth.
It's not a switch. It was like three people.
It was like a couple people realigned their views. It was the Great Switch! The Great Switch!
Out of hundreds.
For people who don't know, I'm assuming most people who watch the show are aware of this, but the Democratic Party was behind the KKK, Jim Crow laws. They were totally against civil rights acts in the 60s. We got to come up with something to win the minority vote. How about the switch?
Lincoln was the first Republican president.
But he's basically a Democrat because the Republicans were Democrats. That's how the switch works. It's a nonsense.
But how do I know what Democrat and Republic means when I'm not educated by the way my government is founded to begin with? So I believe propaganda. Yeah, they need to show, dude. I don't know. The Supreme Court thing pissed me off, and they started with it, I think. And I was like, why are we referencing the Constitution in this? You're asking something to make a political thing about an election.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like
journalism.
I don't like how it was phrased because the Supreme Court shouldn't be relevant in the debate because, you know, hopefully the Republicans in Senate move their ass. Come on, get her in. What are you doing?
We said Tuesday, damn it.
We said Tuesday. It's fucking Saturday. What are you doing? Killing me. I think it's a good time to get into headlines. I don't have a ton of headlines.
I don't either. I don't have any headlines. I'm sorry. I failed you on your segment.
Couple headlines. One, headlines. It's raining on Ryan.
It's all right. I got a waterproof cell phone case. Bring it on.
You have waterproof skin.
Yeah. I drink through my skin. What are you talking about?
Mine is a fish. Headlines. The Proud Boys, Black Lives Matter leaders hold a joint conference to denounce white supremacy.
I thought the Proud Boys were racist.
Shh, don't tell them that. It'll confuse them.
I honestly don't know much about the Proud Boys or Gavin.
I know very little about the Proud Boys.
Yeah, I went on the internet and the articles I seen, dude, it was just a smear campaign, you know, if I've ever seen one. I don't even got to know anything. I'm like, man, even if half of them were true, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, I could believe like 1 out of 5 of these, not 15 of them, you know? Yeah. But I'm like, I don't know anything, but it was just so funny to me.
Yeah, the Proud Boys are kind of...
They can pump...
I think they're mostly... I don't know if I want to say this. I think they're mostly kidding. Is this true?
Yeah.
Is this possible that it's a big put on?
You think so?
Maybe. I'm not sure. It might be a ruse. Headlines. Flashbacks to 2016 alert. This is a new article from September 30th of this year. Google searches for move to Canada soar after presidential debate. Weren't they supposed to move 4 years ago? Are they going to do it?
What do I care?
I don't know.
Why is it printed?
So, can we talk about
thousands of dollars a year to print this crap?
If this country is so bad and people are threatening to move to Canada, which everyone claims to love, why haven't they done it yet?
Canada must not be that good.
I don't know. I don't live there. I can't even go there because I have to. Not like I'm not allowed in Canada. It's a pain in the ass. You gotta have it's not even another country. It's basically like the 51st state. I don't know why it's a big deal to get into Canada.
Yeah, they buy guns from us. We might as well just,
Nobody's going to do anything in Canada. It sucks. I don't know. I'm a little suspicious about this headline. I don't know how true this is. I will alert the fact-checking on my end. I tried to find stuff on it. I did find many things about it, but they all seemed like they're from suspicious sources. But I'm going to do it anyway. Headlines! A COVID-19 nasal swab test punctured a woman's brain lining and leaked brain fluid from her nose. Maybe. I've seen how long those things are.
You could have like a super strong flu. Okay, smash, dead.
She's alive according to the story.
Yeah, how do I know?
It's actually not that big of a deal. It sounds worse than it is.
Yeah, for a nose swab.
Yeah. Let me try and phrase this without sounding anti-science, but this does sound like a decent question at the very least. I remember this being brought up a while ago. If this is a highly deadly contagious virus, why is a mouth swab not enough?
That's a good question.
It's in your mouth, right? Like that's why, like the mask, if you cough or sneeze, it like covers your mouth and your nose. That's the way it's supposed to work. Not just not just this, or not just this.
Yeah.
Wouldn't a mouth swab pick up the super highly contagious virus? I don't know. There's a lot we don't know about it. It just seems logical to me.
You sound anti-science.
Headlines. President Trump condemns KKK, Proud Boys, and all white supremacists during White House phone call. That's not even a headline. He's done it many times, but this was during an official White House phone call.
Am I going to see a retraction on all those statements about from the media?
He still said sure during the debate, which is not good enough. It's not a good enough yes. He didn't say no, by the way. Can you imagine the balls? Would you like to denounce these white supremacist groups? No.
They're tremendous.
Not gonna do it. They're tremendous.
Listen, Chris, you try real hard. You try real hard to be... Trump was debating two people, man.
Yes, but one of them was mostly ineffective.
Yeah, Chris Wallace was very
I was going to say, I'll let you decide which one was ineffective. Headlines. Geneva, which is in Switzerland, I believe.
Switzerland, yes.
Adopts what's believed to be the highest minimum wage in the world at $25 an hour. $25 an hour would be our converted rate. It's like a 23 Swiss franc. I don't know, whatever shit their money is. Their money's stupid.
Maybe they're getting rid of all that Nazi gold they never gave back.
There's a lot of things about this quick headline that I would love to point out. One, they're not really sure because they say what's believed to be, we believe to be the highest in the world. Like nobody looked and checked. They're just going to run with it like it's probably high. That was weird to me. They also note somewhere farther down in there, which is something that I think is worth noting. Switzerland doesn't have minimum wage. The whole country doesn't have a minimum wage.
It's just Geneva.
It's just, well, all this little, cities and stuff. They have they have their wages, but Switzerland itself has no minimum wage. Switzerland also has a lot of things. They have
Army knives.
they do have army knives. They have chocolate. They have guns. They have guns in Switzerland. They're allowed to have guns, which is pretty cool. And now they're going to have Geneva, which is going to have an atrocious economy. In the future, coming to a Geneva near you, extremely high prices, inflation.
So everybody's going to be rich, right? On $25 an hour.
No, it's just enough. It's just enough.
So Dave, if I make $25 an hour, but it costs me $26 an hour to stay alive, am I getting anywhere?
No. You're almost there though. Just $1 raise.
Glad I'm closer.
You could hit it.
Maybe they should just raise the minimum wage to, like, I don't know, like $100 an hour. Businesses should make money, right? Because rich people are greedy and hurting the earth and hate poor people and minorities. Speaking
of hating poor people, they brought up rich people in the debates frequently. Particularly Jeff Bezos. I think they bring up Jeff Bezos. They're talking about how the billionaires are getting richer, which is yes, but they didn't break down why. They conveniently left out the fact that Jeff Bezos was able to get so much richer because Democrat governors and Republican governors shut down the economy and forced people to go to Walmart and Amazon for their purchases.
They literally shaved your ass.
The rich get richer. Well, they provided a service that you couldn't get from not rich, small business owners because we shut them right down.
Or the government.
Of course they got richer. What do you mean? You helped them get richer by shutting everything down. And then only allowing Walmart to be open. Why was only Walmart open? This is craziness.
Can you imagine? I'm pretty sure we discussed this here before, that they've built this system that allows us to have social distancing. You know what I mean? And not go inside. We can get our groceries delivered. We can pick it up. This was all made before any of this was talked about. That system saved us.
Yeah. Yeah. We bought a lot of Amazon stuff during the old shutdown.
Yeah.
I was only out for a month, but there was a lot of Amazon going on.
It was incredible, man, that they've had all this almost prepared that it could just be rolled out. Like, okay, we've already seen what the future is going to be looking like, and now this is the new normal.
It was a convenience that became necessary.
Yeah. Yeah, capitalism gave you that, not the government. But
how the mental gymnastics needed to take what happened, a service provided that we undoubtedly needed, to demonize rich people you're winning gold medals for that one.
Well, they had to tie it to not paying taxes and then tie it to Trump not paying taxes because apparently he's never paid taxes or doesn't pay taxes or $750 in taxes, allegedly. We still
will say
documents.
I'm a little nervous about his comment when they asked how much he paid in taxes. Precursor to this, I don't care. I hope he paid zero in taxes. I really do. I hope nobody pays taxes because it's. Is it too easy to say taxation is theft? Is that too simplified?
Yeah, I was having this discussion last night. I think it's almost
too
armed
simple.
burglary. That's all it is. With a state issue badge.
So that's the precursor to this. And then let's get into what I was going to say. I'm nervous when he was asked how much he paid in taxes, and he said millions and millions. I paid more in taxes than anybody. It's tremendous how much I pay. I'm a little nervous about the millions and millions because I don't know if you're going to say that and then nobody's allowed to see it. It's a little. Again, I don't care if he doesn't show it, and I don't care if he pays nothing. It's maybe a strange strategy.
Dude, he's getting it. Trump is just like, yeah, nobody pays taxes like I do.
Chris Wallace was like, you've paid millions? I don't know. It was a weird thing. I hope that doesn't come back to haunt him a little bit.
I don't know, dude. I think everything out of that debate is haunting him one way or another.
Well, let's go into things that are haunting him currently. The coronavirus. Was that an inappropriate segue?
That the COVID virus caught a little bit of Trump.
Was that distasteful?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I like comedy. This is a comedy podcast.
I don't like to be distasteful. I like to be the utmost respectful.
This is a political comedy podcast.
So yeah, should we roll the clip? Let's roll the clip to do a bet on the presidential debate. What are the odds? Can you do bets on this? You know, like the over-unders and stuff. What's the over-under on one of the presidential candidates contracting COVID?
Ooh.
It's probably low. I'd take those odds. Put a buck in. Yeah. Let's pretend we're rolling a clip right now. We don't have to wait that long. Editing's works miracles. I said in the last podcast that if there were bets on a presidential candidate contracting COVID, that I would probably take the odds. And here we are a week later, not even a week later. I feel like I should have taken the odds. I don't know if there was a bet that could have been placed. I said put a buck in. I think that was my words.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll have a vaccine, next week. Trump's going to drink some bleach or whatever he was telling people to do. We'll be okay. What if he dies, dude, for real? Like, what if Trump would die from COVID? It'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah, so there's a couple things that could happen here. It obviously could get very serious, and he's in the high-risk age pool, you know what I mean? Maybe. I don't know. But I'll say this. He is undoubtedly getting the best treatment possible right now.
Yeah, people were saying he's going what hospital he went to?
Walter Reed, I think it was.
Walter Reed, yeah. And people are like, oh, he's, like some people were hyping it up. It's like, no, it's...
Well, he's not going to go to the worst hospital until it gets worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
fucking ridiculous.
This is the president of the United States. He's not going to some alley doctor.
Yeah, fire up Designated Survivor, man. Like, let's get it.
Here's another prediction that's going to come from this. If he gets through this on whatever meds he's on, he is going to be asked why he didn't take hydroxychloroquine. Guarantee it. Guaranteed. It's coming. It's probably happened already. They're probably already asking why he's not on it.
Yeah, but Trump can do this to boost his health. It's like,
but one thing he is doing that he was talking about is taking zinc. Zinc is a immune system booster, and it was one of the things everyone was talking about. It was the combination of zinc and hydroxychloroquine. So he's on zinc right now. He's on a vitamin D drip. Joe Rogan would be proud. It's almost like scientists know these things work, and it's not crazy.
Yeah. We're anti-science, so party of anti-science.
Party of anti-science.
Something I thought was funny about Trump catching COVID was China came out and they said Trump deserves what he gets for downplaying coronavirus.
China said that?
China said that. But China's the one. China's the one that lied, said it wasn't airborne.
Sure.
It was airborne, and lobbied the WHO to not, like, the whole chain of events. Yeah, China came out and said, yeah, he got what he deserved.
Come on, China. Really?
Be better.
Come on, be better. Go eat bats, idiots.
The polls for the debate were funny, too, because Trump shared one on his Twitter. It was from C-SPAN, and they said Trump won the debate, and then every other poll I'm seeing is like, Trump lost the debate a lot to Biden, and it's like, yeah, did you wait 3 days to poll people after you told them that he was a white supremacy leader for the 55th time? Like,
one could say that would sway opinion.
Yeah, and I love that you oversample like 3,000 Democrats to a single Republican. You're going to tell me we can be trusted. You're a piece of shit.
Could you imagine how the poll was sampled? Did white supremacist Donald Trump win the
What you should do is put out a KKK survey and then see who answers that. And then that's who you go and fucking attack. KKK members only. We want to take a poll. All 4,000 of you come out of the woodwork.
Speaking of KKK members, I think Joe Biden said nice things about Mr. Byrd recently.
Sounds like him.
They're probably good buddies. They were probably in the Senate together.
Yeah, they went to fuck Island. You know that. I have a funny headline for you, if unless you got more headlines.
No, I don't have headlines. Ended a while ago. We quietly.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Headlines.
Oh, okay.
You were
I
late
have
to the
headlines.
party.
Yeah,
Let's bring it back.
Trump
Two-
catching COVID. I got a couple headlines. A cyclist tweeted out a pro-Trump tweet. He got in trouble for it. That's all I know. But I thought it was funny that
a cyclist.
yeah, cyclist. Who first of all, who pays attention to cyclists ever since Lance Armstrong retired? And yeah, who cares about cyclists? I don't care.
I can
That's
name
probably
one
why.
cyclist, and he's
Could you?
denounced.
I
by the
like them
cycling
for
community.
yellow wristbands. Yeah, the guy, he had a pro-Trump tweet, and they were probably like, "Yo, dude, we're trying to like gain membership, not lose it." He's trying to get a Trump
It's
sponsorship.
probably the Trump camp who shut him down. Like, we don't want the cyclists. You stay back. Pedal backwards.
COVID is on the rise in 27 states, led by Wisconsin. Weird.
I don't know. Don't know what caused that.
Anti-science us. Government shutdown. Shutdown. It's imminent again for the 100th time in our lifetime. Trump signed some kind of bill before he went and got the COVID. Kept it open till the 11th of December.
Can I tell you my biggest problem with government shutdowns?
That the government could shut down and still tax me money.
That's a good one. That's a good problem to have. No, my biggest problem with the government shutdown is they don't seem to shut down long enough. How about we try it? Why don't we try it for a year or two and see how it goes?
Just try it. Jeff Bezos will figure it out.
Sure.
I
bet if the government shut down, wow, that was a really good headline and I interrupted it. If Jeff Bezos, or if the government were to shut down, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk would have us in Teslas and Amazon, and we'd all be billionaires within a year or two.
Yeah, they'd be like, just put this chip in your head. You'll be all right. Like,
just get out of the way and let us be billionaires already. Second up being a billionaire, government.
No, we need the government to be a billionaire. $25 an hour minimum wage. Like, dude, that guy's got a robot implantation in my head that'll know everything. What are you talking about?
I can literally.
I can
Elon
text
Musk
you a
can
message
order,
with thought.
Elon Musk can order from Amazon just by thinking.
Yeah, and you're going to lecture me about needing restrictions. Headlines.
There's a lot of movement. There's a ton of movement for very subtle headlines.
Playboy has gone public.
Were they private?
I don't know about you personally.
That's the most ironic private company in history.
Yeah, and they were always lame. Hustler's better. Subway does not sell bread.
Wait, is this the same headline?
No, it's a different headline. Playboy goes public, and Subway doesn't sell bread.
What is happening in the world?
Not sell bread. Apparently, to a committee in, I think it was Ireland. It was another country. There's so much sugar in there in the bread when
there's
they
sugar in the bread.
Yeah, there's sugar. Whatever they did, the test they did said there's over like 10% sugar, so it constitutes like a sweet.
So Subway bread is a dessert?
It's bread. It's sugar bread.
It's like the worst dessert in the world.
You're eating Little Debbie's, is what you're doing.
The new Little Debbie footlong from Subway. Coming to a Subway near you.
The United States of America adds 661,000 jobs in the last month up to the election. So that's a good Trump indicator there.
So what you're saying is Biden was right and the economy is tanked.
Yeah, super tanked. You know, we were at like 10 million and now we're not.
He does tend to have a little hyperbole. Like when he talked about the military members, he was off by a few.
Yeah, my son had a cocaine problem. I'm glad he admitted that. Good for him, man. It took a lot of guts, actually.
Yeah,
and Trump was ragging on his one son. He's like, my son's a veteran and stuff. He's like, I'm not talking about him. I don't know who that is. I'm talking about
my son Bo who died. It's like, you can't guilt me. I'm not talking about Bo. Talking about your idiot cocaine addict son, not the one who died.
Who's worth millions with stripper baby mamas.
He's like he's kind of like Hunter Biden is way closer to John McAfee than anybody knows. Just cocaine and millions.
And then the last thing I'll have to say with the headline section is I keep seeing it's all over all the news feeds, but social media and their campaign, there was a headline that said like Snapchat or one of them got 1 million people to register to vote. So one thing, it's positive, right? I always want people to vote. Second, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're real people or whatever, or if they're even going to vote to begin with. But we said it, I believe we said this last week, that the level of social media interaction and the hyping up of this election is pretty dramatic. And it's being painted everywhere, you know. It's the vote or die thing again. It's just not, Diddy's just not pushing it.
Well, here's the deal. It failed miserably. I guess it depends on the context, but I'm assuming the reason Diddy came forward and did vote or die was because he didn't want George Bush to win, not because he wanted more people to vote. So I'm guessing it failed.
I don't get it, man.
I'm guessing that's the reasoning now, right? Isn't that why they want more people to vote? Because Donald Trump's president, kind of don't like him.
Yeah, if you ask the Democrats over a 4-day time span with millions of dollars spent to look like a Matchbox toy of an election campaign, they say we're not Donald Trump. So, yeah, I guess it doesn't surprise me that they're pouring all this money in the media and social media so that people get out and vote. It doesn't necessarily translate. So you could sign everybody up. You know, it doesn't mean you're going to take the time. How many people mail in this? You know, do the census. You know.
It's illegal to not do it.
Yeah, I know. I didn't do it one year, and the person called me. It was like, "Hey, answer these questions right now." Okay.
What?
I was like, "Sorry for not doing my civic duty." She didn't care. Government money. They love that. It's probably overtime at the census office. All right, you got to track these bastards down and see if they're still alive and what. Hide outside. You can sleep in their car. Whatever you got to do. You got a badge.
So speaking of social media, I brought this up a little bit before we started filming. I had put a comment on a friend of mine's. It was a joke, obviously, but I put a comment on a friend of mine's Facebook page, and I got a message that I have not seen yet. So be ready for this. Let me see if I can find it here. It said that that my comment was flagged and could potentially be harassment or bullying. And then it gave you an option to edit the comment, ignore the message, and just post your comment anyway, or delete the comment. And I don't know if anyone's seen this yet, but I saw it for the first time today. So be ready for that.
Police are coming to you.
Yeah, that was my first reaction, and maybe I'm getting cynical, but my first reaction is, how far does this go now? You know what I mean? Like, it starts with like a friendly, like, hey, maybe think about posting this. And, you know, how far down the road does that go? I mean, it sounds crazy now. Right? It sounds crazy now, but wait in 10 years and let's go back and play this.
Yeah, well,
it goes from a little, maybe think about this, to open. Please, open up.
Yep. No knock raids that killed Breonna Taylor.
No, that was a knock raid.
No knock raid?
That was well, I don't know if we want to get into that. That's where. Should we get into that? Let's get into that. Do we?
I don't know anything about it.
This is how fluid our podcast is.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
Immediately jump into Breonna Taylor.
Other than like all the talking points.
I heard. Yeah, it seems like nothing but talking points. And my talking point is, wouldn't this be a great place for a body cam to settle the debate? Because there's apparently one witness that heard somebody knock during the no-knock raid, and then there's a bunch of other witnesses who said they didn't hear it. And not hearing it doesn't mean it didn't happen. But, you know, again, if a police had a body cam on, here. I didn't knock. Really interesting. Let's go to the tape. It could have been solved in, 30 seconds. Body cams. Body cams. Put them on, leave them on.
Put them on, leave them on.
It's good for everybody. It could be good for the police. Everyone put them on, wear them on, leave them on. It could be good for everybody. That's my quick little bit on Breonna Taylor. I don't know, and I obviously wasn't there. I don't know enough about it, but that's just, body cam could have solved so many questions. Put them on, please.
Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future. That's what we'll see.
In the future. He'll have one on when I'm getting knocked on for leaving an inappropriate comment on Facebook.
Yeah, well, I'm glad the thought police are working overtime, you know?
I don't know. It's getting crazy. Social media is getting nuts.
Yeah, it certainly is getting crazy, and the election's less than a month away, so.
We're getting there. So, speaking of, nope, this isn't related at all. I wanted to do a new topic, a new segment per se, because I see a lot of news articles about unnamed sources breaking big stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, like, I know a lot of people. I'm obviously not going to name them, but I know a lot of people who are in the Washington D.C. area in the politics game who are doctors of people. They'll remain unnamed, of course. But I heard something from a friend of mine, and I'm not, of course, he won't be named. Joe Biden, his pedophilia is worse than you would think.
Really?
Way worse.
Wow.
So the Pizzagate, the Pizzagate thing?
Mm-hmm.
Joe Biden has a pizza shop in his house. It's in the basement.
What?
He likes to have slices of pizza for dozens of minutes.
I'm getting creeped out, dude.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It's not me saying this. It's an unnamed source. But apparently, according to unnamed sources, Joe Biden is a raging pedophile.
Well, it works for the media. It should work for December 1773 media.
Sure. Why can't I have unnamed sources?
Yeah. Let's just make up names for sources and we can name them then.
No, just leave them unnamed.
Okay. It adds credibility.
Sure, yeah, it adds credibility not knowing who it was. That way we can't vet them.
Yeah, I'm good with my sources. I don't reveal their leaks. Meanwhile, they got a board full of names. They're playing like 8-ball with news stories.
They're playing.
Was he black? Yes.
They're playing.
All right.
They're playing. Pick the narrative out of the hat. It's the media's favorite game.
They got a blow dart and they're on a swivel chair and they're just shooting thumbtacks at the wall, seeing what sticks.
I'm getting really sick of the unnamed sources thing because you can literally make whatever narrative you want. Unnamed source said so. Good luck. Go vet them if you want to. Oh, you can't because it's an unnamed source. It shouldn't. It should be. Kevin brought this up in the chat. That should violate libel laws. It should be a flat out. You can get sued for that because it's nonsense. It's craziness that you can just unnamed source whatever I want to say. Oh, sorry, it wasn't me. It was an unnamed source. Oh well, put it in the news. It's crazy.
I love the news media and my government.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, no, I shut it down. Shut it down. Don't text me for a week. We'll see how we do. I have a little quick little headline, then I think we'll close it out. But
Sure.
Local community here in my area, Batavia, expected to have an 84% increase in income tax. Property tax.
84%?
84%.
So like almost doubling, essentially?
It's not doubling. It's 84%, David.
It's almost doubling, though. 84%. That's huge.
84%, dude. It's a community of poor farmers. People are gonna close up for that, dude.
Yeah, let's put this in.
I've been out there hundreds of times. I've lived out there. Like, I have childhood roots there. I know the community, and family members of mine are part of it, and that will put some people under hardcore. And it's farmland. It's country land. It's going to get bought up and turned into freaking subcomplexes or whatever they're called.
Well, they're pretty close to Darien Lake. Just saying.
Yeah.
A couple of hotels.
Yep.
Could boost the industry a little.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's some underlying thing to that.
I'd believe it, dude.
Would you believe that? Like if Six Flags was lobbying the local government?
Not even Six Flags. I've seen in my lifetime when I drive out there, the clearing of 2 or 3 blocks of suburbia size, and then a steel building gets put there. I think they want that area out there for industrial land, and Yeah, Darien Lake and stuff, but I think they want the space for the industrial land because they ain't making no more land, man. And they have cheaper taxes out there to begin with. You know, in
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Jensentown.
Like, to put a number on it, I don't know what they exactly were, but for simple math, if your property tax was $1,000, it's
Now
$1,800. It's $1,840. It's a huge jump.
in 1 year.
Yeah. Oh, remember when you paid $1,000? How about you give us almost $1,000 more? Well, I'm
Yeah,
not prepared. I'm not prepared for that.
I wonder if it was a good idea to shut the economy down this long.
Yeah. Well, I can answer that.
It's funny, we're the party of anti-science, they say, but nobody ever calls them out for being the party of anti-economics.
Well, that's true. I'd like to see some of that. I'd like to see them called out for anti-science too.
That's fair.
I mean, how really? They're the party of science. The Democratic Party is the party of science.
Yeah.
So we're clear. The Democrats, the party of people who
Self-appointed too, you know.
Oh yeah.
In a non-tyrannical fashion. They just want to kill every industry. Joe, you are for the new Green Deal. No, I'm not. You go on their website, they're kind of like the new Green Deal. You know, AOC's on their board.
He struggled with that a little bit.
Dude, the whole debate, it was highly entertaining. They need to do the Joe Rogan one because Joe Rogan could get those guys under control, I think, but he would also let them just babble.
Could you imagine Joe Rogan? Joe Biden would be like
an armbar.
Joe Biden would be like, my son wasn't discharged from the Navy for cocaine. Hey, Jamie, pull up that clip where his son was discharged from the Navy for doing cocaine. he would fact check immediately, be like, what is this bullshit, Jamie?
They're in that they're in that spaceship in Texas. All right, man. Well, this has been a presentation from December 1773. Please subscribe. Hit the thumbs up, notification bell, like, comment.
That's the thumbs up. That's what it looks like.
Thumbs up. If you like it, share the video. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more content and tune in next week. We'll see you again.
See you, everybody. Thanks for being the person that you are.
Later, brother.
See ya. Thanks, everybody.